So what exactly we're going to be doing tonight, we'll be rehearsing. Well, first we connect for 30 minutes and then we're going to go into our live groups. And then I think we start dancing.
Today we are rehearsing. We rehearse every Wednesday. There's a rehearsal, and at the moment we're having live group. We divide it into different groups, so that's where we connect with each other. We get to know like what's happening in each other's lives.
Okay, right now we're just connecting in live groups, and like whatever anybody needs to get prayed for, and you say your prayers and you ask how everybody's been doing in the week, and yeah, and a couple of minutes before we start breaking it down, right?
Right now we're just programming for the weekend's praise and worship settings with the preach settings and the news settings and offering settings and so on.
I think the best thing about worship in Creative Arts is the people. It's the fact that just ordinary people from ordinary walks of life can come together, and that collectively we can do something significant for God.
I love worshiping God, I love serving God.
Doing vocal training. We're listening to a vocal specialist on the CD, and we're doing as she says what we must do. That's what we're doing.
For Wednesday, basically all we do is try and experiment with new things that we don't normally do on the Sunday services, and we try to come up with new ideas, new creative things and new looks.
I think the greatest thing about being part of this team is that you learn new things even though you get hurt. And yeah, like you come in here with a mindset of just learning something else, you know what I mean? Just because I dance hip hop doesn't mean I should always be dancing hip hop.
I really love the bond that you form in the team. Like, since I joined the team, and the people that join the team, it's like every single person that joins, you just develop a bond, and the support and the love that you find in your team is just so cool.
I love the fact that when people walk through the front doors of the church, they can just be so blown away by how comfortable they feel and how happy they feel and how at home they feel.
God is a multifaceted God, you know, and He's in all His like colours and His dimensions. And like worship and creative arts is like that. You know, there's so many different areas, so many different ways that people like express themselves.
I love being in the worship and creative arts because you get to do a lot of things, different things. You don't get to do the same thing every time. And at the moment I'm involved with Kids Zone as well, where you're involved with worshiping with the kids, and it's awesome.
The most valuable lesson I've learned from being on the team is basically how, even as lighting, it's such a small thing, it has such a big impact on the meeting as it draws people and points people towards God and His greatness.
We work so hard on Wednesday nights so that we can get the moves ready in case of an event or conference or anything that's coming up, so that if we learn the moves quickly, we can just move on and learn something new, so by the time we perform, we got something fresh.
All around the world you can find good music, great visuals, good camera work and great sound, but what we do in church is like so much more than that. It's beyond that. It has eternal purpose.
I feel like we set an example for the world in the way we do things, because at church we have a real spirit of excellence, and it's not because we want to show off or we want to like display how cool we are at what we do, but it's really because we want to do this well for God, because our God is excellent, and we want to do things well for Him.
we can do life in this church, and we can bring all those elements together, and people can actually come in here and use their talents that God has given them.
You know, whether it's rolling up a cable or leading worship.
What's on my heart is that the church would be an inspiration and a help to people, and that we as a team could do that. We could actually inspire people by using the gifts that God has given us, not for our glory, but for His.
Your gift is not for yourself. That's it.
What we're doing is helping people to worship, and I think that's the most significant thing about worshiping creative arts.
At the end of a service, when we see hands go up, we know that whoever was involved in that process had a part to play in seeing somebody's eternal destiny changed.